This collection of historical newspaper clippings highlights some of the strange and often amusing reasons for divorce that made headlines in the early 20th century. By the mid-1800s, divorce rates in the United States began to rise, surpassing those in Europe. Historically, divorce was mostly accessible to the middle and upper classes due to its high cost. But as legal processes became more affordable, divorce became more common. Several factors contributed to this trend, including the growing acceptance of divorce as a solution to unhappy marriages, a shift away from beliefs in immortality and divine punishment, social discontent, increased mobility due to better transportation, and the growing independence of women, which granted them greater legal rights and opportunities for self-support. The divorce rate continued to climb into the early 20th century. By 1890, 3 couples out of every 1,000 were divorced, and by 1920, that number rose to 8. Despite this, divorce was still seen as contrary to public interest, and civil courts would only grant divorces if one spouse had wronged the other, through abandonment, cruelty, mental illness, or adultery. In cases where both parties were at fault, or if the spouses had colluded to create false grounds for divorce, they would not be allowed to separate. As divorce law varied by state, creative strategies were developed to make divorce easier in some areas. By 1909, Reno, Nevada had earned the title of Divorce Capital of the World, with a residency requirement of just 6 months. Nevada courts allowed residents to claim divorce based on their own word, typically citing extreme cruelty. To maintain its status, the state reduced the residency period further, first to 3 months in 1927, then to just 6 weeks in 1931. During this time, Reno became a hub for divorce tourism, complete with special accommodations, greeters, and divorce ranches. In 1942, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that other states had to recognize divorces granted in Nevada, a decision that expanded the state's influence even further. By the 1910s, the U.S. led the world in divorce rates, with cities like New York offering divorce packages that included a prostitute and a photographer for those seeking grounds for adultery. Many Americans also traveled to Mexico or Haiti, where lawyers advertised divorce services to U.S. citizens. This practice was famously referenced in Steely Dan's song Haitian Divorce. The introduction of no-fault divorce laws in the 1970s caused an even further increase in the divorce rate. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, from 1975 to 1988, women filed for divorce in about 2/3 of cases, with the percentage rising from 71.4% in 1975 to 65% by 1908.